You are about to participate in a great adventure.
Hit in the air to deep right center.
Pike open on the low side. Greg Pike, believe me, sweetie, I got enough to feed the needy. No need to be greedy. Mad friends with Benzes and C notes by the layers. I love it when you call me Big Papa.
It is high.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is far. It is gone.
You're listening to the Tom and Jerry Show. Welcome back to the Tom and Jerry Show. We were off for a little while.
Due to Hurricane Sandy's outgoings.
Well, I'm Jerry.
I'm Tom.
And we're going to go over a little bit of last week's football, Week 11. We'll get over a little bit of the Thanksgiving Day games. A few signings, a few injuries in the NFL. We'll get into a little NBA. NBA is a good 10 games in.
Yeah, it's starting to get interesting now.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone's starting to heat up.
And then they just announced a couple of days ago the awards for the MLB. And then we got a couple of trades that went down.
A couple big trades.
And a couple of signings. And then people that might be.
Yes, people that will be going to most likely different teams.
But did you hear a gunshot? Because Blackskull Burris is back in the NFL.
Yes, he is.
Back in the NFL.
Honestly, I'm surprised it took this long. I mean, with that whole controversy, he did his time. He's not a repeat offender, but I'm surprised it took this long. 8 touchdowns last year for the Jets. He's a red zone threat.
Exactly. For a big guy like that. I mean, I couldn't really find out how much he signed for, but he's back with the Steelers.
Yes. I never saw the how much it was either, or how long. So, I'm sure it's just like a 1 year, like the rest of the year, see how he does kind of thing.
Ed Reed was earlier in the week was suspended
for a ridiculous hit, in my opinion. But
one game, they said it's been repeated.
Yes, throughout years,
since 2010. They said.
I mean. And you look at the play they're talking about with him hitting Drew Brees. You can see him going for the ball. His arm just ends up hitting Drew Brees in the head. But
I really don't like any of those, those calls.
No.
I mean,
none of those
should
much
be
all
offensive now. Yeah. It's all offensive now.
Those shouldn't be suspensions because offensive players cause half of them.
Yeah, exactly.
They try to get people kicked out of games and draw penalties.
Exactly.
So if anything, the fine should be going both ways.
But he did appeal, and he actually won.
Which is surprising.
He got the 1-game suspension lifted, but he was fined $50,000, which I still think that's a little high.
Yeah. Well, compared to $450,000, that would have been.
Exactly. But Week 11, we had that Thursday night game, the Bills and the Dolphins. Two pretty bad teams.
Yeah, they're pretty much not going anywhere playoff-wise, and Miami had some hopes, but they fell off. I don't know what happened.
Buffalo took it 19-14. Horrendous.
And then it seems like every Thursday night game has just been awful.
Yeah,
so far. I don't know what the NFL can do about it and try to put some more competitive games. I mean, I know you're not going to know how teams are going to end up mid-season, but I mean, you got to know going in that Bills-Dolphins is not going to be.
That game made them both. After the game, made them both 4-6.
Yeah, and 3 games out, right?
Yeah. To match up with the Jets that are 4-6, but then you also got the Patriots that are 7-3.
Yeah, this is pretty much the last game on the schedule for the Jets because if they lose this game coming up, it's over.
Yeah,
4 games back, and Patriots got the tiebreaker.
Then we had the Cardinals at the Falcons, which was actually a pretty good game. I mean, Arizona kind of gave them a little run for their money, but I just. They were on their number 3 quarterback, Arizona. So
I believe
towards the end of the game,
too.
Towards the end of the game, it just got
they couldn't
hold it.
The Falcons,
the Falcons won 23-19 to make the Falcons 9-1. I still don't think
9-1.
Yeah, I still don't think that they are they're a good team.
Yeah.
But I just don't know how far they can go.
I think everyone's waiting to see how they do in the playoffs. I mean, a lot of the the ESPN guys and stuff like that. So a lot of them are on the bandwagon, but there's a lot like us that we need to see something from this team.
Well, the Browns took on the Cowboys at Dallas, big game for the Cowboys. They needed that game.
Yes, they did.
The Cowboys ended up winning 23-20,
and they were down
in overtime.
Like 13-0, I believe. At one
they were
point.
down. Yeah, going into halftime, they were down 13-0. I mean, for the way that they played in the first half, to get the W, is a good thing.
Yeah,
it's big. It's big because they had 68 yards total in the first half, and I mean.
That's what coaching's all about. It's about those halftime adjustments.
Exactly.
That's how the
I mean, they made like the one big adjustment that they made was they started making short passes.
Yeah.
Romo was making a 3-step drop and hitting.
Yeah.
And I mean, the best game Dez Bryant has had in his career.
Yeah, so
3-year career.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would say 2 of his best games have come this year. The other game against the Ravens, he had 12 catches.
Exactly.
This game, he had 13 catches, 14
for
catches.
I think it was 154 yards, I think.
That's important because, I mean, that's Romo's number. Well, besides Witten, I mean, that's his number one. That's his wide receiver.
He's got to get chemistry. If they can get chemistry, then, I mean, Cowboys could be a dangerous offense, but right now they just have no running game.
That's the other problem.
No running game.
I don't know what they can do.
I mean, they need DeMarco Murray back.
Yeah.
He's going to be out again Thanksgiving. So they're hoping that he'll be back next week. Yeah,
because it's pretty much like a bye week after this.
Exactly. But then we had the Packers and the Lions. The Lions have just been horrendous this whole season.
Is probably the biggest disappointment in football.
Yeah.
Close to it.
I mean, to have Calvin Johnson, who was ridiculous last year, to have only, 2 touchdowns this year?
Probably 2 or 3.
I mean, Stafford's not really having that great of a season.
It's got to be the coach. I mean, Schwartz has never had control of that team.
He's definitely on the hot seat.
I don't think he's going to be back next year because the team has no discipline. There's penalties, people getting arrested in the offseason.
I mean, it was a close game. Yeah. Packers won 24-20.
And it feels like every game with the Lions is close, but they can't win them.
This puts the Packers at 7-3 and the Lions at 4-6.
The Packers are back.
Yeah.
Just a little while ago, were they 2-3? Everyone was writing them off.
Yeah.
And now they're on the verge of
winning. They got a big game coming up this week.
Yeah.
Big game coming up this week. Then we had the Bengals and the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Did you
see, like, on the Come On Man they do?
Yeah.
The last segment they showed on Come On Man was all the Kansas City Chiefs people handing out the paper bag hats. They showed there was like 9 minutes left on the clock. The whole stadium's empty. It's getting bad in Kansas City.
It's sad for the Chiefs right now. I mean, they gave up a fake punt for almost 30 yards.
Yeah, and
it's just, I mean, Bengals are a good team.
Yeah,
I mean, they showed what they can do against the Giants. They blew the Giants out.
They're going to be a good team in years to come. But
this puts the Bengals at 5-5 and the Chiefs at a very bad 1-9.
Chiefs need a quarterback.
Yes.
And I mean, because you watch the games they play, like some of the games, obviously not the past week game.
Yeah,
but they have talent. They have. They have Bo. They got a nice running back, Charles. They got a solid defense, good players. Maybe it's Cornell too.
Yeah.
I mean, he should just stick to being a coordinator.
Then you have the Jets at the Rams, which, the Jets win 27-13. Now everybody's back, saying, the Jets are back. The Jets are back. They're 4-6 right now. I don't think they're catching the Patriots. It's a big game on Thanksgiving against the Patriots, but I just don't see them winning that game.
And even if they do, they're still 2 back, and the Patriots are just going to keep on winning. So,
and the whole thing with Tebow and Sanchez, it's just going to get ugly now. Yeah. They're boycotting. Talking to the media now. Yeah. It's just that
locker room's a mess.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
A mess.
I mean, this game put them at 4-6, and the Rams at 3-6-1 because of that tie last week.
I still can't even believe they have ties in this league.
So, then you had the Eagles at the Redskins, big division game. Didn't turn out
to be a big game for the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles just laid an egg. It was 31-6, Redskins, and it wasn't even like they lost, like they got blown out like that. By the Redskins playing like unbelievable.
Yeah.
2 of his touchdowns that RG3 threw were just, no look, just bomb it down the field 60 yards.
Yeah, wide open.
I mean, the one guy was wide open. Then the other one was just a great catch by Santana Moss.
Yeah.
And he just fought for it. I mean, 2 defenders, and he...
But that's what it comes down to. It comes down to who's playing harder.
Exactly.
And the Eagles are just not playing hard right now.
This puts the Eagles at 3-7, and the Redskins at 4-6. Now, the NFC East is going to get very interesting.
That's why that Thanksgiving game is very big now with the
way the Giants have been playing the last couple of weeks. Yep. Redskins are starting to come up. Cowboys are on a 2-game winning streak.
Giants have a big game next week against the Packers.
Against the Packers. Then you got the Cowboys and the Redskins, which is going to be a huge game because that'll either put,
that's going to end one team pretty much.
The
at
Cowboys
least in a division standpoint.
It's either going to put the Cowboys at 5-6 and the Redskins at 5-6, or the Redskins at 4-7 and the Cowboys at 6-5.
Yeah.
And then if the Giants lose, that puts them at 6-5.
Yep.
And now the Cowboys flip flop with the Giants because the Cowboys beat the Giants.
Yes,
well, actually, they split.
Oh, yeah, they split now.
So it's going to come down to
the Cowboys should have won.
Yeah, it's going to come down to conference games. But the Eagles have just been, bad this whole year.
I think that's the other biggest disappointment.
Yeah, I think Andy Reid's gone. I think he's he's a really good coach.
Yeah, he is.
But it's just not his situation right now, and it's getting ugly over there.
Yeah, it's getting worse and worse.
Then you got the big surprise of the league right now, the Buccaneers. They're staying in there now. 6-4 after the win against the Panthers, a game that they were down going into 14 seconds left in the game.
I watched that last drive. It was unbelievable. I mean, what I was watching. Triple coverage, Vincent Jackson in the end zone, and he still grabs it.
They go into overtime. They win 27-21. Puts the Buccaneers at 6-4 and the Panthers at a bad 2-8. Panthers. I mean,
I think college coaches are really liking what Greg Schiano's doing now.
Yeah,
because say a guy like Chip Kelly, Oregon, everyone's talking NFL about him. Well, if they look down in Tampa Bay and see what Schiano's doing, first year in the NFL, they're going to throw money at Chip Kelly and see what he can do because of that offense and stuff he has at Oregon.
Now, the Buccaneers are staying in the race now for at least a wild card.
Yeah.
Then you had the Jaguars and the Texans, which was definitely the best game of the week.
Yeah, that was a great game. I was really pulling for Jacksonville.
For the Jaguars that were 1-8 going into that game, going against an 8-1 team.
I think Gabbard getting hurt was a blessing for him.
Yeah.
Chad Henne had an unbelievable game for him.
He had 354 yards,
amazing,
4 touchdowns.
Yeah, you saw some
Blackman had
Blackman 230 or something like that.
But the Texans did pull it off in overtime on a screen to Andre Johnson. They win 43-37.
The first team ever to score twice in overtime.
Yeah. Another team, that I just, their record shows that they're really good.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if they're that good. I mean, they lay an egg against the Bears the week before. Actually, no, they didn't really lay an egg. Their defense played pretty well.
We'll give it to the defense, but it was a sloppy game.
I mean, it was also raining that game too, so And
they pretty much laid an egg on Sunday. I mean, they won, but 37, 38 points to the Jaguars.
Exactly. I mean, you can't be. You don't know if you can. Really. Back up that defense. Like you think that they're really good, and then they lay an egg like that, and then But then you had the Saints against the Raiders, which, I mean, we knew going into that game. I mean,
Saints are back.
Saints are probably the best 5-5 team in the league.
Yeah, they're back.
It's just they're a scary team. They won 38-17 against the Raiders, who are now 3-7.
Even if they don't make the playoffs, that's a team you don't want to play the Saints. If you're trying to get into the playoffs, trying to win a division.
See, that's a team that I could see the Falcons losing to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think that's coming up next Thursday. Not Thanksgiving, but the next one.
Then you got the Chargers at the Broncos. Broncos were blowing them out pretty much the whole game.
Chargers made it interesting a couple times, but
Phillip Rivers just makes some stupid mistakes.
He's a turnover machine.
Yeah. The Broncos win 30-23. Makes the Broncos 7-3. Chargers 4-6. I still think, and I said it in the beginning of the season, I still think Peyton Manning's going to win the MVP.
No, he will.
The way he's playing. So
I think it's going to come down to Brady. and Manning MVP. And
I mean, you can even throw Eli in there, but the last couple of games that he's been having is just, I mean...
Rodgers is kind of creeping up there again, too, now, 7-3.
I mean, Randall Cobb, for him, has just been
he's
great.
been... That's what great teams do.
Yeah,
They They find these guys.
Then you had a game, Andrew Luck versus Tom Brady, which used to be, with the Colts and the Patriots, used to be a big rivalry because of Brady and Manning. I mean, Andrew Luck played pretty... I mean...
He played all right, yeah.
2 pick sixes.
One of them, the Talib pick was pretty bad.
But this puts the Colts at 6-4, Patriots at 7-3, which I think the Patriots are just going to run away with the East.
Without a doubt.
I mean, they blew out the Colts 59-24.
I think those interceptions were Luck trying too hard, trying to keep up with Brady, overdoing it, and that's what happens when you play.
Then you had the Sunday night game, Ravens at Steelers, 13-10.
But that's what you expect from
them. I mean, defensive game.
Yeah,
But,
when you say bad games, but that's Ravens Steelers.
Exactly,
that's what they do every time.
And now Ben Roethlisberger didn't play in that game, and his backup Byron Leftwich ends up breaking a rib. So next week, Charlie Batch is starting.
Batch is back, ladies and gentlemen.
The Steelers are really injured right now. That's why they went out and got Plaxico Burress because of Cotchery breaking a rib and Antonio Brown being hurt. So 6-4, I think the Ravens win that division.
Yeah, especially Ravens 4-0 in the division right now. Every other team's 1-2, 1-3. So
I think that's it. And then you had the Monday night game, which going into that game, no starting quarterback for either team.
Nope.
So you had the backups going against each other. 2 supposedly great defenses.
Bears
only one defense show up.
Yeah. And there's always a game like this. Like every year, I feel like on like a Monday night, like a night game at least, like Sunday night, Monday night, where like a backup quarterback, backup running back comes in and just blows everyone's minds away. And that's what Kaepernick did.
Kaepernick actually, I mean, I've seen him come in a couple of times. He's got a strong arm. He obviously can run the ball because that's all they were doing when Alex Smith was healthy. So, I mean... I'm
like a Kaepernick fan because I remember I watched him play a couple games in Nevada. That's where he went to college. They would just throw like a couple of late games on ESPN. I mean, he did some unbelievable stuff in college.
He's actually a really good quarterback, and he played unbelievable on Monday night.
Yeah. Now they got a lot of QB controversy going.
For the 49ers to win 32-7 against the Bears, whose
number one defense
is just ridiculous with turnovers and everything. I mean, that's big.
That was big.
Really big. And this puts, I mean, you don't know if that tie is really going to hurt the 49ers. This puts them at 7-2-1.
I don't know if it's going to
hurt them or help them. You don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this puts the Bears at 7-3.
Niners may have to watch out for Seattle because they can't lose at home.
Exactly.
Exactly. And Chicago, they got a lot of questions about them and that offensive line. It's a joke. That's all you can say.
It kind of looked like there was no offensive line, really.
And this shows you how important Jay Cutler is and how good Jay Cutler is because he deals with this every game and he still throws yards and touchdowns.
And Thanksgiving's tomorrow. So we got football.
I'm pretty excited because they're good games. You know? They threw the Texans in on Thanksgiving.
The 12:30 game is the Texans at the Lions, 9-1 versus 4-6. I believe that's going to be a blowout.
Yeah,
Texans, but we'll see. We'll see. You never know if the Lions will show up because the Lions were really good last year.
Maybe they try and salvage themselves.
They pretty much have the same team. I mean, really,
it's identical.
Really, so, I mean, I don't know.
And their defense is playing outstanding. Their defense is really good this year.
And then what the Texans did last week against the 1-9 team.
Yeah. They're going to look to bounce back.
You don't know. I mean, the Lions last year were a 10 win. Yeah, they were a 10-win team. So, then I think the biggest game, I mean, the Sunday night game is big. The Thursday night game is big. But I think
there's just something about
the 4:30 game is going to be the biggest because this really pretty much sets up the division, how it's going to go.
This is a lot more important than the AFC East because the AFC East is separated by 3.
Yeah, AFC East, you got a 7-3 team going against a 4-6 team. But now this game, this 4:30 game, Redskins at Cowboys, you got a 4-6 team, 5-5 team. Cowboys are 2-1 in the division.
That's good.
So that's big.
That is big.
All right, and then you have the Giants that are 6-4, that are on a 2-game losing streak. So, this could really set up the NFC East for the next.
That's exactly what it's going to do.
So
because Cowboys win, Redskins done.
Yeah,
that's what we could say.
Exactly.
Redskins win. Now we got 3 teams
that are
right next to each other.
Exactly. So that's going to be a really good game. I'm not picking that game.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit back and watch that game.
Jets at Patriots. The Patriots at the Jets. I think that's going to be.
This feels like a Tom Brady.
I just think that's going to be a blowout.
This feels like he's just going to have a 5-touchdown game.
For players to go away from home. Thanksgiving night. All right, so you can't even eat any turkey or anything.
It's
at least
tough.
like the 1:00 games you can can eat or whatever after the game. 4:30 you could probably eat after the game. 8:00 you don't want to go into that game with a full stomach with turkey stuffing and all that stuff. So you don't know. I just believe that Patriots are just going to blow.
Yeah.
I mean, now the big story this week has been Rob Gronkowski breaking his arm on the last extra point.
Yeah.
Now, I have my own opinion about Belichick putting him out there. I want to know yours.
See, this is the thing now with just because the guy got hurt on the play.
I mean, they were right now. They were up 59-24 already,
and I understand that, but that's just what he does. I mean, he's been out there every time.
Exactly.
Every time
no one notices.
Yeah, exactly.
No one
knows he's out there until he gets hurt. And then everyone questions it. But
I know.
He was out there every touchdown they ever got. It's what he does. He plays every play.
Exactly.
It's a freak accident. It happens.
I mean, do you really think that he's going to get hurt on an extra point? On an extra point,
of all
he has to do is block.
The plays he makes,
all he does is block. So and
I think
why question one of the best coaches in the league? Why? I mean, there's been games where he's left Tom Brady in an absolute blowout.
Yeah.
So let the players do what they do. He was on the extra point.
That's what he does.
That's
what
he does
for the extra point. Look at the size of him.
Exactly. He got hurt. It's a freak accident.
When you watch the play, it feels like something happened on the play before.
Yeah.
Because he just put it out of his left arm.
Yeah. Right
into a guy. So I don't know. Watching it, if I feel like something happened on a play earlier, and that really just did it in.
Maybe. I mean, they said I think 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
He'll probably be back for the playoffs. Definitely
They'll be fine.
I mean,
they have weapons. They'll be.
Yeah. So now we'll go on to the NBA.
Things are getting interesting in the NBA now.
All right.
A lot of good teams.
We could talk about the biggest, story of the NBA is the Knicks obviously being 8-1.
Yes.
Everybody thinks
everyone's on the bandwagon.
Yeah. They've been playing good, and they've actually, their biggest thing is they've been playing good on defense.
Yeah.
Something the Knicks have never done.
Exactly.
I mean, last night they gave up 80 points. The night before that, I think they gave up 85 points. They're keeping it under 100.
Yeah.
Which is big.
It is.
For the Knicks. Because they're obviously always going to put up points.
Yeah.
They always do. But, I mean, to give up only 80 points, I mean, last night they played,
They played the Hornets.
Yeah,
but
so it's like...
See, that's one thing with me in the Knicks right now is it seems like they've had a pretty easy...
Yeah.
There's been a couple tough games, I'm not saying that, but it seems like they've played some easy
They pulled off
games.
the game against the Heat.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
They back and back with the Magic. They played the Hornets.
Yeah.
They're playing the Mavericks without Dirk. I mean,
they beat the Spurs, though, so it's like...
They do have their nice wins, I'm not saying that,
exactly.
But they're shooting really hot right now.
Yeah.
That's not going to last all year.
See, now my thing is, I think they're a great team. They're a great team.
Yes.
They're very deep on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could go far, but the biggest thing is I think they have to get rid of Amari Stoudemire.
Yeah.
Because him and Carmelo cannot coexist, and I'm telling you right now, he comes back and they try to fit him back into that
It's
offense.
gonna mess it all up.
I think it's just going to mess it all up, and then every Knicks fan's going to be crying.
The only way it would work is if Amari came off the bench, which he's not going to do.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't even think that will work because it's still
him and Carmelo just can't be on the court at the same time.
Exactly,
and that's a problem because we're talking about two superstars on that team.
Then you have Brooklyn.
They're doing pretty good things too.
They're second in the East.
They matched up. I was watching that game last night versus they played the Lakers.
They actually have a pretty good team.
They can match up with the Lakers very well because they have two tall guys too with Humphries and Lopez. So I'm watching that game.
And you got Gerald Wallace and Darren Williams just on a whole nother level.
Yeah, he's a really good point guard. Joe Johnson. They got a solid team.
Yeah, I mean Miami's 8-3 right now. Then you got Milwaukee at 6-3, and then
nice little surprise.
Everybody's kind of like around the same, except for Washington and Detroit, Cleveland, all at least 9 games under 500. 7 games under 500. Then you got Boston. That's just showing their age.
Yeah, it's
really showing their age. I mean, they tried to get young in the draft. They got 2 good guys.
Yeah,
Fab Melo. So I mean, I think obviously I think they're going to be there, at the end. But I just don't see anybody.
Rondo needs help.
I just don't see anybody taking over Miami.
I don't. Even with the Knicks doing what they're doing,
I just feel
Nets.
Like the Knicks and the Nets are on one level, but I think the Miami Heat are just on another level.
When they kick it in full gear, there's no one that can stop them.
Yeah, exactly.
As we saw last year.
So the East, I still think the East is just the Heat to lose.
It really is.
Then you got the West, which you
really
just got
interesting.
Like a whole handful of good teams.
You can go 1-8.
Yeah,
and they're all really good teams.
You got the Clippers who got the best record right now, 8-2 in the West. Then you got Memphis that's 8-2. OKC's 8-3. San Antonio's 8-3. Then you get everybody that's around 500. The Lakers, obviously they're 6-5 now.
They're starting to pick it up.
I think with D'Antoni right now, I think once they get their stamina to the point of the way that
plus Dwight's not even 100% right now,
and he's running the court now.
Yeah. He's not even in full shape right now. Yeah, he's still doing it. So it's going to be.
He's pretty much a double machine right now.
Oh yeah,
Kobe is playing out of his mind right now.
He's playing unbelievable right now.
Because with Steve Nash down with a broken leg, then you got Steve Blake, the backup point guard that's out. So you pretty much have Kobe playing the point guard position, and the other day he dropped a triple-double.
So because Kobe matches up well with point guards because he's tall,
exactly.
So he can shoot over
6'6"
every point guard.
Is just,
and you saw it on Darren Williams last night.
Yeah,
just the size advantage he has on point guards is unbelievable.
And it's not even his scoring. Yeah, he's scoring around 27 points, but he's
doing the point guard thing.
He's averaging almost 7 assists a game.
He's taking the point guard role to a whole nother level.
Exactly.
And he's doing what you're supposed to
be
doing.
So it's even watching last night, he went off in the first quarter.
Yeah, he did.
Then he didn't score until late in the third quarter again. Mm-hmm. So he was passing the ball a lot, but they were also trying to double team him. They were also, sending guys out, but just the ball movement that I saw last night with the Lakers is promising.
Yeah, it is. No, it is.
From Kobe to Powell and then to Dwight Howard. So it's still think Pau Gasol is the best passing big man in the league.
Yeah, I would say so.
And now he's pretty much
big man.
He's pretty much setting up right under the 3-point line. And he's drilling the shots every time.
Oh, every time because he's open.
So it's he's pretty much going to live there. And then you're going to have Dwight Howard that's going to live in the paint. Then you're going to have Kobe that's just going to be everywhere around there. then with Nash coming back, I mean,
I would say
Nash with D'Antoni is kind of...
It worked before, so
exactly.
we know it's going to work again.
So
I would say by the All-Star break, this team is really going to be... it's going to be scary.
Yeah, so, I mean, then you got Denver. Denver, they're a good team.
You got to respect George Karl.
Exactly.
And, what
together,
he does.
like, the team that they put together is a really good team. I mean, 5-6 right now. But, I mean,
they're trying to gel with each other
now, so it's like... I think that team's going to be up there.
Yeah, they will.
Dallas right now is missing Nowinski.
Yeah,
so you never know. Portland's always like a thorn in everybody's side.
Exactly. That's exactly.
So,
what
and they're tough at home.
Yeah,
they're tough at home. OKC, I
don't know what to do with this team now because of the Harden trade.
I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking.
I know.
I mean, they couldn't sign him. It was going to be tough signing him. But
he was a key player.
Exactly,
you got to sign him.
Exactly. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I mean, Houston. I mean, what he was doing for Houston, was ridiculous.
Yeah, and you could see the shades in Oklahoma that he can score.
Yeah, and I don't know why they never put him in that starting rotation. And I mean, he was great off the bench. But I mean, to have him in that starting with Westbrook and Durant, that would have been dangerous.
Yeah, but they could have gone further and won another game in the finals last year or something. But
who knows? Who knows how that's going to be? NBA is going to be interesting this year.
It really is. There's a lot of good teams.
I still think that there's. The West is going to come down to the end. I don't know really.
Yeah, you can't say about the West because it's so deep.
East, I still think I mean, there's no doubt about it. I think
there's like a lot of excitement about
barring injury,
basketball.
barring
a big injury with the Heat. There's a lot of excitement about the NBA now. Like this is a big year for the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of good teams, a lot of good teams with 2 or 3 superstar type players. I mean, that's what the league's turned into, but everyone seems to love it, so...
The West is going to be interesting. That's what I can't wait to see how that ends up.
Unfolds. The Western Conference playoffs are going to be really good.
Definitely. Then we can move over to a little Major League Baseball.
Getting close to
went over. They just named pretty much all of the awards. Manners of the Year. In the AL, which I don't know how Bob Melvin won it over Buck Showalter is beyond me.
Yeah,
I mean, from what the Orioles were,
exactly. That's what I think the
Buck
biggest
Showalter brought them to. I mean, it's just kind of questionable.
We're not trying to take anything away from Bob Melvin and what he did.
Yeah, he's a great coach.
He had a great year with a very low payroll.
Yeah,
but the A's have had a winning record in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
The Orioles have not.
I know.
And Buck Showalter brought that team
to the playoffs.
I mean, you can say Adam Jones, superstar kind of caliber, but they don't have a Yankee type, like an all-star.
Exactly.
And Buck brought 93 wins from 69 from a year ago. I mean, I don't know. That was speechless for me.
Yeah.
I thought he had that hands down.
Exactly. Then in the NL. Hands down was Davey Johnson.
Yeah,
I mean, with the Nationals, one questionable move.
Yeah, that's why I think he shouldn't have won.
Yeah,
honestly,
one questionable. I still don't know why you bench. Yes, he's 21 years old, 22, whatever. Coming off that, the injury that he had, the surgery that he had, but you cannot go into the playoffs that you haven't been to yet
ever.
With the Nationals. To have your best pitcher not pitch is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
If you know
what, they went pretty far with it. They did good with him, but you're pretty much putting a guy that throws 98 into the rotation.
That's like the Yankees going to the playoffs and saying, you know what, CC?
Sit down,
CC.
It's ridiculous, but you know what? We sit here and talk about it. They play it. So.
But if you know you're gonna have an innings limit on him, why not stop him in the middle of the season when it doesn't when it's not important?
Exactly. I mean, to have the best record in the NL going into the playoffs because of your pitcher,
exactly.
Strasburg. then to go into the playoffs that he pretty much brought you single-handedly. I mean, Gio Gonzalez had a really good season. But, I mean, what Strasburg did to get them to the playoffs and then be like, oh, you know, you got us here, but you can't get us any further, you know? It's like,
all you had to do
ridiculous.
was manage his stuff in the regular season and have him, like, he'll start, take another start off.
What happened back in the day when they used to pitch, 15 innings?
I know.
They pitch 200 pitches. It's ridiculous now, and they just baby the pitchers now.
Yeah, it's really,
so
it gets bad.
like, yes, they're throwing harder now.
As soon as they hit the 100 pitch mark, that's it now.
I know.
As soon as you hit that, gone.
Bullpen up. Rookie of the year, no doubt. There was no question about it with AL and NL. The two biggest rookies that everybody's been talking about the whole season, Mike Trout in the AL and Bryce Harper in the NL. Trout, I don't have a question about either of them.
Yeah, there's not even a debate, really.
Yeah. They both had amazing seasons for rookies. I mean, for
especially
Bryce
Trout.
Harper. Bryce Harper is, how old is he? He's
18, 19, I think.
Yeah.
19.
So it's like, it's amazing how these guys can come into the league at that young of an age and do what they did.
Trout's gonna be a monster.
Yeah. Cy Young, David Price in the AL.
I'm actually happy he won because there's a lot of Verlander talk. Verlander did not deserve it this year. Price deserved it, and he won it. So
NL, R.A. Dickey, the only thing that the Mets had.
Yeah,
so you got
first knuckleball ever.
Yeah, so
it's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty cool. Like
he had a really good season.
I mean, how old is he? Like 38.
Yeah,
and he can do this for 5 more years.
Exactly,
because it's not stressful.
And like the craziest thing is he did not come into the majors.
I know, that's the most unbelievable
being
thing
a knuckleball pitcher.
I know, that's the best thing about his story.
It's amazing. Like
he was a regular pitcher, didn't make it, gets hurt, he comes back. First game as a knuckleball, gives up the most home runs ever in the game, and now he wins the Cy Young.
Yeah, it's amazing. Then you had the MVP, which NL Buster Posey. Yeah,
I'm fine with.
This guy's amazing.
He's an amazing player.
The AL was between two guys. Now, they had it between Miguel Cabrera and Mike Trout. If Miguel Cabrera did not win the MVP, it was a scam.
So, like, building up to the whole MVP thing, like, so many things, like, scare me. Like, everyone's like, oh, Mike Trout can actually win this.
Yeah.
He's going to win this. He's going to win this. And then Cabrera gets 22 first-place votes.
Bro, Miguel Cabrera was a Triple Crown winner.
I know.
Something we haven't seen in God knows how long. Like,
because it's all this new age, new stats with the war, and it's a joke. The guy had a triple crown.
There's no question about it. There's no question about it. The guy wins
best
triple
offensive
crown.
player in the game.
You make him the MVP. There's no question about it.
Close.
No question about it.
That's why I'm glad the people that decide the MVP are old school.
Yeah, exactly.
They appreciate the triple crown, what it means for baseball. Not all this new stats and.
So then, what was it? Last week, the big trade went down.
I was blown away by this trade.
I know.
I did not see this coming at all.
Toronto Blue Jays get Jose Reyes, Mark Burley, Josh Johnson, John Buck, and Emilio Bonifacio from the Miami Marlins, which pretty much Marlins just gave up every big pitcher, every big player that
every big signing they made.
Yeah, last year. They go into free agency and they make a huge splash.
Yeah, everyone's
with all
on
these
their
guys,
bandwagon.
and they drop an egg the whole season. They get rid of everybody. Then they go into this trade. They get rid of everybody else that they had. I mean,
Stanton cannot be happy.
And with what they got, I mean,
that's what I don't understand.
Yunel Escobar. Then you got another no name, Justin Nicolini, Jeff Mathis. I mean, these guys aren't even close to Jose Reyes, Mark Burley, Josh Johnson.
They just did it for payroll. That's what that's all it can come down to, because they got nothing in return.
To get rid of everybody, like, at least, you could go into one trade Jose Reyes, get him away. But you dumped them to a whole team.
Yeah.
Then Toronto goes out and signs Melky Cabrera, which 2-year deal, $16 million. You don't know how he's gonna. You don't know how he's gonna be.
That's a little too much.
The guy was a decent player.
He never hit 300 before.
Then goes into
steroids.
Then gets into steroids.
Yeah.
Has an amazing half of the season he had. then you're going to go and sign him after what he did before steroids.
Yeah.
I mean, great outfielder.
No, he plays good defense.
His batting is a little questionable, but he's a great outfielder.
But so $8 million a year for an outfielder.
Yeah,
I
mean to add him to Jose Reyes, Mark Burley, Josh Johnson, John Buck. Then on the team you got Batista. So it's
what's his name? Encarnacion.
Yeah,
who also had 40 home runs.
Toronto just turned into a team that could.
The AL East is a powerhouse.
Yeah,
it's an absolute powerhouse.
That could really give the Yankees, and if the Orioles come back to the way they were last year.
We're talking about 5 teams that could potentially be the best team in baseball in one division. It's going to be that AL East is going to be insane next year.
So it's going to be big to see what happens in the AL East. Then another thing that happened in the AL East, the Yankees signed back Kuroda.
That's big.
Which it's big. They signed him to a 1-year, $15 million deal.
I saw that. That's a lot of money.
That's
a lot
big.
of money.
I mean. Now, but they were saying they didn't know if they were going to sign him back because they were kind of scared because
the big year he had and stuff like that.
Guys that were close to him were coming out and saying he wanted to go to South California, play out there. He wanted to play out there. Didn't happen. The Yankees said, "You know what? We'll come out. We'll give you $15 million a year," and. Obviously, they signed him.
That shows it.
So it's big. Yeah, it's big to sign him because you don't know if you're going to sign back Andy Pettitte. Yeah, because you don't know what.
You don't know what the injury is. CC going on the DL twice.
Yeah,
Kuroda saved that staff last year.
Then you got Pineda, who the Yankees haven't even seen.
Yeah, they haven't even seen him yet.
Get straight to the Yankees before he even throws a pitch for the Yankees. He's on the DL for the whole season. So another big guy that's named in the free agency, or not free agency, but he's in trade talks right now. Justin Upton. 5 teams they said that are good fits.
Yeah,
they said Texas.
Yeah, because
Detroit.
Hamilton's leaving.
Yeah, Detroit, Tampa Bay, Cleveland, and Atlanta.
What?
I would love to see the Yankees get in there and try to go for him. I mean, because you don't know if it doesn't sound like you're signing back Swisher.
Yeah.
Because now he's talking about all these other teams. You don't know if that's going to happen. You still don't know if the Yankees are going to sign, Ichiro. They're talking about, they just signed back. They just took the option on Granderson and Cano. So the Yankees, are in like the middle of, what they're going to do.
And you never know. Baseball's a long season. Injuries happen to everyone. It doesn't hurt to have extra.
But I would just love to see. I mean, a lefty. Yeah. I think he's a lefty, right?
No, he's a righty.
He's a righty. But he's a power hitter.
He's a power hitter. Definitely.
So I mean, he's a good outfielder too.
Yeah, he is.
You also got B.J. Upton out there too. So you don't know who he's going to sign with.
Yeah.
So. MLB offseason will definitely be interesting.
I'm looking forward to the winter meetings because that's where everything happens.
The big trades.
That's where the big trades and stuff. So that's always an exciting time coming.
I mean, it was a good MLB season this year.
It was. I mean, you had the surprise
really
teams.
Good.
The playoffs were great. You had a couple of surprise teams from both sides of the league.
Exactly.
So
to have 2 guys, rookies, just come out and play. It's just amazing to see. So I mean, and then obviously see a triple crown.
Yeah, is amazing. It was a big year for baseball.
So baseball season was good. Hopefully, won't disappoint next year.
No, I don't think it will.
So, but it looks like we're all done here. We're gonna have a show on Friday, previewing the games for that weekend.
Yeah, Football Friday.
This weekend, pretty much. Yeah, Football Friday. Got a couple of big games. One off the top, Packers at Giants.
Yeah,
Sunday night game.
We're gonna get break into that game.
Big game.
Yeah,
so it should be good. Make sure you listen to that. We're gonna be signing out. Anything else you got to say?
I just want to say thanks for listening. Sorry for the time off. It was due to Hurricane Sandy and everything that happened with her, but thanks for sticking through. Definitely. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Tom and Jerry Sports. Don't know if we're going to make a Facebook. I don't think we're going to make a Facebook. No need.
But all the videos will be up there. Videos will be on both of our Facebooks. So check those out. Signing out. Tom and Jerry.
I'm Jerry, guys. I'm Tom.
Be breezy.
Oh, baby.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Tom and Jerry Show.
Are you in good hands?